Okay everybody, so I've done all the flowers. I've just started to do a few, they're not stuck down. I just started to do a few of the stems as well. Well, done one stem. But what I wanted to do before I get on to that part of things, I just want to show, this is my videoing setup. So I set it up with the light box all flat so that you can see it nice and easy. But when I'm actually doing them and not videoing them, this is how I go about it. So I've just done another version. So what I do is I use the canvas that I'm actually going to stretch it, because I stretch all of my work over canvases and then I sell the canvases as pictures. So I use the canvas that I'm going to stretch it over. I put my pattern onto the canvas. I tend to put a bit of tape or something on it. Then I put some parchment paper over, and the parchment paper goes all the way around to the back, and I just put some tape on, or sometimes I'll staple's the word I'm looking for. I'll staple it on just so that it doesn't go anywhere. And then I use, this is my preferred method now, I put a bias tape. I use a hemming tape on the bias tape and stick it all the way around my edge, so that I know that all my pieces have got to flow over and under. So you'll see that's actually gone under the bias tape. And the same round here, you can see it goes under the tape. Then I know exactly how much I need to put on, and it works really well. But I thought I'd just show you this as a demonstration of how I would work normally when I'm not filming it. So that's what I work on. So I work straight onto the canvas, and then obviously once the whole thing's done, I take it all off of the canvas, and then I layer it up and stitch it. And when I stitch this edge to the rest of the collage, I always use a zigzag stitch to make it really strong, because I need that to be strong so that when I pull it around the edges of my canvases, this is not going to give way. So I just put a zigzag all the way along round the edge of that. I think that's it. Oh, and as this is now, if you wanted to simplify it, what I've done is I've put the stems in on this one, over here and over here and over here. If you wanted to simplify the pattern, at this stage I would suggest that you put the plain background in. And you've got some, with the stems in, you've got some fairly big areas that you wouldn't have to just put it onto one piece, which might be a little bit tricky. You could do it, but just sort of trying to get everything in the right place might be a little bit tricky. But now that you've got the stems in, you could actually cut. So you could cut like this area out of one piece of fabric, lift it and slot it into place. You've got this little area here, this area here, that you've got boundaries now with the stems in that just make it easier to do. All right. So now I'm going to get on to this one, and we're going to get all the stems in and some of the background in, just show you basically where we're going with it. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start with the stalks. Just grab my pencil and some parchment paper. So here we go. Just like I showed you on the other one. I'm going to put the stalks in first, and then you can build up round those. Quite a dark colour for some of my stalks. a bit thick. Just thin it down a little bit. Actually, now I'm looking at that, that's not the stalk, is it? It's that one in there. That's all right. Shouldn't make any difference. Should have looked at my picture. I think I'm going to fill this whole little area in actually. I'm going to worry so much about the stalks in one go. When you're doing something like this, you do need to have quite a decent range of greens. There goes the dog drinking every time. It's just flipped up, so put it back down again. And you're basically layering it, really. So most of the time, I tend to put things underneath each piece that I've put in. Depending on the texture of the piece, the thicker pieces I try and put right at the bottom. Because I use a variety of different fabrics. Some of them have a more open weave, so they're more likely to unthread. So I try and make sure that they're right on the bottom, so you don't get any bits sort of threading at the top. That's nice. Just going to put one more dark. Piece in there. That's it. I'm just going to carry on building up from that one spot. But like I said, if you didn't want to do quite so complicated background, just do your stalks first and then you can have much bigger pieces. But I like this sort of bitty backgrounds. I think they just add a look to it. This is what I'm talking about. This is quite an open texture, so you can see you get little threadbare bits. So they're the sort of bits that you really want to go behind all your other fabrics just to hold them together. Down here, isn't it? So I've got a little piece there that obviously the whites haven't quite joined together, so I'm just going to put another little piece of white behind there because I don't really want that showing through as green. So at the same time as I'm putting that down, I can just slip that in. And you can see that the background starts to build up really quickly. Should I put in there? Quite like that. And I'm thinking not only this bit, I'm thinking of sort of moving it all up as I'm going. So I'm going to carry on up here with that particular colour. I've stuck my flowers quite in the right place there, but it doesn't matter. You can see it sort of should be there, but it's down here, but it makes no difference, it's fine. You don't have to be too precious about the patterns. If it looks right, it's fine. Want to cut down some of the detail? Go ahead. Right, so I have got a stem there, so quite like that, that works quite well. That feels like it's coming off of there, so I'm just going to give it a bit more of a squeeze down. And take it off. Is that a bit I was cutting out? No, it can't be. Okay, we can wing it. Yeah, it might be actually. Oh, now I've lost that bit. Let's have a look. Let's just remark it. So it might be a bit thick. Actually, no, I'm quite happy with that. That's all right. So I just want to make sure I get it down at the top there in the right spot. Put this bit in, and then I can fill the behind. Similar to that other colour, but not quite the same, so I think that will work quite well. This fabric is one of my favourite fabrics. It's actually a bedspread, or it might have been a pillowcase or something like that anyway. But it's got so many different lovely colours on it that it's so useful. And it cuts really nicely as well. A lot of the fat quartz, they leave quite a white edge, I find. They have great patterns, but sometimes they leave quite a stark white edge to them, which is not great for when you're doing raw edges. Can't quite see that, can you? Let's pull that over a bit. Sorry if you can hear somebody whining in the background. It's getting close to dinner time. They like to remind me. I'll go down here with this bit. Yeah, that's nice, I like that. And I think I'm going to carry it into this bit as well. Make that the last bit for this video. You just sort of get an idea of how I'm going with the background. And how I sort of continue areas. What's going on? It's a bit noisy. Okay, so I'm going to obviously carry on getting all this background in, and then we'll come back when it's finished and we'll do a bit of sewing, I think, and we'll finish off with the L framing. So bye for now.